What would you do if you took a group photo at camp, and someone you've never seen in your life was standing right in the middle of it, smiling like she'd always been there? This is Nightmare and Fear. We're closing in on 1,000 brave subscribers, and your courage fuels us. Let me tell you the story of the trip that should have been nothing more than a weekend getaway, and why I still can't delete that photo. It was supposed to be one last trip before college scattered us across the country. Me, Hannah, Mark, Josh, and Riley, we grew up together. Camped every summer since we were kids. This time, we chose an old trail near Blackmere Lake. No signal. No rangers. And the campsite hadn't been maintained in years. Exactly our kind of place. The first night was normal. Stories. Marshmallows. Laughter around the fire. At one point, Hannah set her phone on a tree stump and used the 10-second timer to snap a group picture. We all huddled in, arms around each other, smiling like idiots. Then we forgot about it. It wasn't until we got home, days later, that we noticed it. Josh messaged us in the group chat. "Hey, did any of you invite someone else that night?" We all said no. Then he sent the picture. It was the one Hannah had taken. But now, in the very center of the group, between me and Riley, was a woman. Not just a blur. Not a shadow. A clear, defined woman. Pale skin. Jet black hair. Tattered dress. No shoes. And a smile that didn't fit her face. Her arms weren't around any of us, but we were all leaning into her as if we thought she was someone we knew. But we didn't. We checked Hannah's phone. That photo wasn't there. Only when Josh downloaded it to his computer did she appear. And it didn't stop there. The second time we opened it, she was looking directly at the camera. Third time, her hand was raised, pointing at someone different each time. We thought it was a glitch. Some viral joke. Maybe a cursed filter. Until Riley disappeared. He went hiking alone 2 days after we noticed the photo changing. He never came back. His car was still at the trailhead. But no tracks. No calls. Nobody. And then, a new version of the photo appeared in the shared drive. Same picture. Except this time, Riley was gone. Completely erased from the image, like he was never there. But the woman? She was still smiling. Now in his exact pose. Mark suggested deleting it. But every time we tried, it just came back. Rename it? It duplicated. Delete it? It returned with a new file name, always timestamped 2:13 a.m. Print it? The woman was never on the paper. But the image on the screen? Still there. Still changing. Now Hannah's eyes in the photo were completely blacked out. And mine? They were slowly turning every time I looked. Not a glitch. A choice. Hannah was next. She vanished from her dorm room one night. Door locked from the inside. No signs of a struggle. We received a final photo update that same morning. Now only me and Mark were left in it. And the woman had both arms around our shoulders. Like we were her last two. Mark left town. Deleted every app. Smashed his laptop. Disconnected completely. 2 nights ago, I got an email. No subject. No text. Just an attachment. It was the photo. Mark was gone. And now, I'm the only one in the picture. Me. And her. Every night, I see her reflection in my laptop screen. Not moving. Not blinking. Just smiling. Waiting for me to open the photo one last time. It was a solo trip. Just me, a backpack, and my one-man tent. I picked a remote site off Trail 9, deep inside Bramblewood Forest. No cell signal. No other campers. Just trees, wind, and silence. Perfect. The first day was peaceful. I journaled, cooked over fire, even watched a few deer wander nearby. But that night, something felt wrong. Not terrifying. Just off. I woke up at 1:47 a.m. Needed to pee. Unzipped the tent quietly, stepped outside barefoot, and walked about 15 feet toward the trees. I was gone less than 2 minutes. When I came back, my tent zipper was closed. Fully shut. Which I never do. I always leave it half open in case I need to jump back in quickly. Then, I saw it. The fabric of the tent moved. Something inside shifted its weight. A small shadow. Not big, but enough to press lightly against the wall from the inside. I whispered out, "Hey! What the hell? Who's in there?" No answer. The silhouette didn't move. It just sat there. Breathing. Shallow. Slow. I grabbed my flashlight, shined it directly at the tent. The outline twitched, like a puppet reacting to light. Then, the zipper started to open. From the inside. But something was wrong. The zipper sound wasn't right. It wasn't the usual metallic zrrr. It sounded wet. Like skin sliding across fabric. I didn't wait. I grabbed my pack and ran. Didn't even look back. I spent the rest of the night sitting on a boulder by the creek, knife in hand, heart racing, waiting for sunrise. When I came back the next morning, the tent was empty. Neatly zipped. Sleeping bag undisturbed. But inside, scratched into the nylon floor, were 4 words. "Thank you for leaving." I was out at Hollow Creek alone, a small backcountry site barely anyone uses anymore. It had one rotted bench, a moss-covered fire ring, and what looked like the remains of an old outhouse. As I was gathering wood behind the pit, I tripped over something hard. I dug it out with my hands. It was a leather-bound journal. No name. Just black, weathered leather. Old, but dry. Unnaturally dry. The first few pages were normal. Entries dated years ago, notes about wildlife, hiking routes, weird dreams. But about halfway through, the handwriting changed. It started looking exactly like mine. Same slant. Same spacing. Same little quirks I had in how I wrote lowercase f's and y's. And then, I read something that chilled me. August 3rd, found the journal today. Buried behind the pit. Wind picked up around 7 p.m. Weird smell, like burnt plastic. Night feels wrong. That was today's date. And I hadn't written that. The next entry read, August 4th, heard footsteps around the tent. 3 full circles. No prints in the morning. It knows I read the book. It always knows. I dropped the journal and backed away. The wind kicked up, just like the entry said. And yes, there was a faint smell in the air. Like melted rubber and something rotting. I shoved the journal into my backpack and decided to leave at dawn. But that night, at exactly 2:33 a.m., I woke up to the sound of footsteps circling my tent. 3 full laps. Crunch. 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 Then silence. I waited until morning. Ran. Didn't look back. When I got home, I burned the backpack, journal and all. I thought that was it. Until this morning, when I checked my mailbox. Inside was a small black journal, perfectly dry. And the first page now reads, August 5th, tried to burn it. Didn't work. It always comes back. It always knows when you've read. I was camping solo near the western side of Blue Hollow Ridge, elevation around 4,000 feet, well off the map trails. No signal, no lights, no other hikers for miles. It was just me, my gear, and the sound of wind brushing against pine. The first night was uneventful, but the second, something felt different. The air was heavy, like the woods were holding their breath. Around midnight, I stepped away from the tent to relieve myself. When I came back, I saw something that made me stop cold. My tent, zipped shut, was rising and falling, like something inside was breathing deeply. But I hadn't zipped it up. I'd left it half open for airflow. I stood still, watching. Up, down. Up, down. Slow. Steady. I whispered. Hello. Nothing. I unzipped the door slowly, ready to run. Inside. Nothing. Sleeping bag untouched. No gear disturbed. But the air inside was warm, like someone had just been lying in there for hours. Then I noticed the condensation. A small patch of fog on the inside wall of the tent, shaped like a face. Nose. Mouth. Eyes. Pressed from the inside. I stepped back. Then the tent exhaled, a soft, wheezing sound, as if it was sighing with disappointment. I didn't sleep that night. I moved camp an hour east, closer to the trailhead. Set up again. Triple-checked everything. But at 3:06 a.m., I woke to the sound of breathing again. Except this time. It was behind me. Not in the tent. Not in the trees. Right next to my ear. I spun around, nothing. But my tent? It was unzipped. Wide open. And the sleeping bag was flattened, like someone had just crawled out. I grabbed my lantern, scanned the woods. And that's when I saw it. A figure, tall and bent at the neck, watching from between two trees. No face. Just skin, stretched tight and colorless. It didn't run. It just stepped slowly into the tent. And when I rushed forward with the light, there was nothing inside. Just the sound of breathing. Deep. Wet. Calm. I packed up and ran. I don't camp anymore. I don't even sleep in beds with sheets that rise when I breathe. Because 2 weeks later, at home, I woke up to the same sound. And my blanket was moving. Up. Down. Up. Down. But I wasn't breathing. 2 months ago, I decided to document my first solo camping trip for YouTube. Just a weekend in Mist Pine Forest. Basic gear, a GoPro, and my drone for some B-roll. I wasn't planning to film myself sleeping, that was a last-minute idea. I set the GoPro in the corner of the tent, aimed it at my sleeping bag, and let it record all night. The next morning, I felt fine. No weird dreams. No disturbances. Just the usual forest sounds and morning dew. But when I got home and started reviewing the footage, something felt off. Hours of nothing. Just me breathing, shifting a little. Then, around 3:12 a.m., something moved in the corner of the frame. Very slight. Almost like a shift in shadow. I zoomed in. It was a figure. Tall. Slouched. Standing inside the tent. Right next to my sleeping bag. I didn't move. I didn't react. I just kept sleeping. The figure bent slowly, its head getting closer to my face. It stayed there, unmoving, for 6 full minutes. Then stood up and vanished toward the tent door. But here's the part that makes no sense. The zipper never opened. No sound. No movement. It was just gone. The GoPro file ended abruptly, corrupted right at the final seconds. So I transferred it to my computer. Used recovery software to restore the missing part. It worked. The last 30 seconds came back. And I wish they hadn't. Because the final frame showed a new shot, not from inside the tent, but from outside, looking in through the mesh screen. As if someone else was holding another camera. And in the image, I was awake. Eyes wide open. Staring directly at whoever, or whatever, was filming. I have no memory of this. I deleted the footage. Wiped every drive. Threw out the SD card. Burned the tent. But last night, I got a notification on my phone. Unknown number. No message. Just a video. 30 seconds long. And in the preview thumbnail, it's me. Sleeping. Right now.